Why silence is so powerful. We live in a world designed to keep us distracted. The moment we wake up, we're flooded with notifications, videos, music, advertisements, and endless streams of information. Every second, something is competing for our attention. Because of this, silence has become uncomfortable. But silence isn't empty. Silence is where awareness begins. Right now, there is an overwhelming amount of information surrounding you. The sounds around you, the feeling of your clothes, the temperature of the room, the objects in your peripheral vision. Your brain cannot process all of it, so it filters. It decides what is important and what gets ignored. And that filter is largely shaped by your beliefs. What you believe about yourself, what you believe about the world, what you repeatedly focus on. This is why two people can experience the exact same situation and walk away with completely different perspectives. One sees opportunity, the other sees obstacles. One sees abundance, the other sees lack. The world didn't change, their filter did. Most of these filters were created years ago through parents, school, friends, society, and past experiences. Over time, those experiences became beliefs, and those beliefs became programs running beneath conscious awareness. The subconscious mind then searches for evidence that those beliefs are true. If you believe you're unlucky, you'll notice every setback. If you believe you're capable, you'll notice opportunities, not because reality changed, but because your mind is filtering reality through a different lens. This is why silence is so powerful. When the distractions disappear, you begin noticing the thoughts that have been running your life. The fears, the doubts, the stories you've been telling yourself for years. Most people immediately run back to distraction because they don't want to face what silence reveals. But growth begins where distraction ends. When you sit in silence, you start observing your thoughts instead of automatically believing them. You realize that not every thought is true, not every belief belongs to you, and not every story has to become your future. Silence creates space between you and your programming, and in that space, awareness is born. The world wants your attention because attention shapes reality. Whatever consistently occupies your mind eventually influences your actions, your habits, and your future. Silence gives that power back to you, because silence is not the absence of sound, it's the presence of awareness. And awareness is where transformation begins. But awareness alone isn't enough. Once you become aware of the thoughts running through your mind, the next step is asking where they came from. How many of your beliefs are actually yours? How many were given to you by other people? Think about it. Before you were old enough to think critically, you were absorbing information from the world around you. In fact, from birth to around 7 years old, a child's subconscious mind is incredibly impressionable. Children don't analyze information the way adults do, they absorb it, like a sponge. They watch how their parents react to problems, they listen to conversations about money, they observe relationships, they hear opinions about success, failure, and what is or isn't possible. And because their subconscious mind is so open, much of that information gets accepted without question. A child doesn't stop and ask, "Is this belief true?" They simply assume it is. If a child repeatedly hears that money is hard to make, that belief may become part of their subconscious programming. If they constantly hear criticism, they may begin to believe they aren't enough. If they're encouraged, supported, and taught to believe in themselves, that becomes part of their programming as well. The subconscious mind records everything, and over time, those recordings become beliefs. Those beliefs become assumptions, and those assumptions begin shaping the way a person sees reality. The fascinating part is that many people carry these beliefs into adulthood without ever questioning them. They assume the voice in their head is telling them the truth, when in reality, it may simply be repeating a program that was installed years ago. This is why two people can face the same challenge and react completely differently. One sees possibility, the other sees limitation. One sees growth, the other sees fear. The situation is the same, the programming is different. Most people spend their entire lives reacting to this programming without realizing it exists. They repeat the same habits, the same emotional patterns, the same stories, again and again. And because the mind loves what is familiar, it keeps recreating the same reality, even when that reality isn't serving them. This is why change can feel so difficult. Not because change is impossible, but because your mind is trying to protect what it already knows. The familiar feels safe, even when it's holding you back. Silence allows you to see this process happening in real time. You begin noticing recurring thoughts, recurring fears, recurring beliefs. And once you can see them, you can begin questioning them. You can ask yourself, is this belief actually mine? Where did it come from? Is it helping me become who I want to be, or is it keeping me trapped in an old version of myself? These questions have power, because the quality of your life is often determined by the quality of the beliefs you hold. A person who believes opportunities are everywhere will notice things others miss. A person who believes growth is possible will take actions others avoid. A person who believes they can change will eventually create a different future. Everything begins with awareness, and awareness begins with silence. In a world filled with endless noise, silence has become a superpower. It allows you to reconnect with yourself, to recognize the thoughts shaping your reality, and to consciously choose which ones deserve to stay. So spend time in silence, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because when the noise fades away, you may discover that many of the beliefs you've been living by were never truly yours to begin with. And that realization can change everything. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, what's one belief you've questioned about yourself recently? Until next time, protect your attention, question your beliefs, and never stop growing.